Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Horror Stew, and a very, very, very happy new year to you. Today is January 1st, so when you guys are watching this, this is going to be the first day of 2021. I'm super excited for 2021. If you guys watched my video on Wednesday, you would see that I talked about some new video games that I'm super excited for in the new year. And today, for Horror Stew, I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to give you guys 5 horror films that I'm so excited for in the new year that I just can't handle it. So let's go ahead and get into that today, guys. 5 movies in 2021 that I am super scared and super excited for. Let's do it. Starting us off, we're going to look at Quiet Place Part 2. Now, if you guys have never seen The Quiet Place is probably one of my all-time favorite horror films. And surprisingly, it was an amazing film. You know, there was a lot of things that I was really scared about. You know, I love John Krasinski, but, you know, I was really kind of honestly afraid that his directorial works on a horror/thriller film wouldn't be all that it was made out for. You know, I was super excited when I watched that movie, and they pretty much right away said there will be a sequel eventually. And of course, with COVID, The Quiet Place was supposed to come out earlier this year, but it wasn't able to do so. So obviously they said, you know what, we'll push it out. 2021's the year. Fingers crossed that 2021 is still the year. If not, then I guess I'll be excited for it when it comes out in the next year. Regardless, though, you know, Quiet Place Part 2 is going to be coming out, hopefully, scheduled for April 23rd, 2021, directed, of course, by John Krasinski. And, you know, if you've never seen the original one, honestly, go back and watch it. There's a lot of places that stream it now. It's a great film. Very much worth the time that it takes to watch the movie, I promise. But that being said, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but we're going to move on to the next one. Let's see what else we got coming in 2021. Okay, so I would obviously be remiss if I didn't mention Halloween Kills. So obviously I love the Halloween franchise. I made a video about my all-time favorite Halloween films, and I even talked about how I intend to talk about this movie once it comes out. So this movie is scheduled for October 15, 2021. It is a direct sequel to the previous Halloween film from 2018. So obviously Halloween Kills is going to it's part of a trilogy actually, Halloween Kills, and there's another one after it. This is going to be the middle film in the 3-movie series that's supposedly supposed to sort of wrap up and tie off this version, if you will, of the Halloween franchise. That being said, Halloween Kills, the teaser trailers that we've seen so far are pretty incredible. You know, there's a lot of anticipation for this film and a lot of things that, honestly, I'm just super excited for. That being said, I'm not going to talk about that either too much because Halloween Kills there's not a whole lot of details about the movie quite yet. And quite frankly, you know, it's going to be a great movie. I know it will be, but we really have to wait to see where they take the franchise. I feel like there's a couple of really good ways that they could take the movies, but they really need to be smart about it. But that being said, let's move on to the number 3 film that I'm most anticipating for 2021. Number 3, we are looking at none other than the Candyman remake. Oh my lord. Super excited for the Candyman remake. And honestly, this is coming from the very, very, very twisted team of Jordan Peele, Nia DaCosta, and Wynn Rosenfield. Nia DaCosta is the director, of course. Jordan Peele is the screenplay. You may know Jordan Peele from some of his other works, such as, what was it? It was Us, and then, oh man, I can't remember the other one, or something, Get Out. Yeah, Get Out. Sorry, completely spaced that one. But super excited for this one. It is anticipated for a 2021 release. It does have the, returning characters, hopefully that is, of Tony Todd. And actually has a story by Clive Barker as well. So, Candyman, you know, it's such a great movie. The original film, honestly, is probably one of my favorite horror films of all time, specifically for the soundtrack and honestly just Tony Todd. Tony Todd is an incredible spooky actor. You know, if I could make a list of people that I would love to meet, he'd be on it. But the Candyman, super excited for it. Jordan Peele's on top of it, so I'm super excited for that. And Nia DaCosta, she's going to do great. I love it. And there's really not too many details on it right now. There is some information, of course, in regards to the synopsis. But basically, it's a decade after the last Cabrini Towers were torn down, I believe that's the apartments that were in the first film. So, going to be sort of a sequel from the first film, from what I can tell. So I'm definitely excited for that. That being said, we're going to move on to number 2. Let's get it. The Resident Evil remake. Oh my lord. So the Resident Evil series had sort of a tumultuous history, if you will. There are a lot of really great animated films for the Resident Evil franchise, but you know, there's been some kind of, honestly, if I had to put it to a phrase, the animated films were the better of the film series. The live-action films with Mila Jovovich and Paul W.S. Anderson are by no means bad films. I think that they do sort of miss the mark when it comes to what people were expecting from the Resident Evil films. Me and Salsa had a very long, drawn-out conversation about this multiple times during the Control Over C podcast, so if you're interested in additional insights on this, you can, of course, watch those. But the films themselves are not horrible by any means. It's just that they were not very traditional to the source material. I think that the films that they're making now, Johannes Roberts is both the screenplay and director of this new series that's coming out in September of 2021. So there's a lot to anticipate with this. I think that Johannes Roberts will do great. I don't anticipate any craziness that'll happen that would make it not good. Obviously, that's up for interpretation once the films do come out. But this is intended to be part of a new series. And honestly, from what details that we do have, it is honestly very promising. And in fact, I actually just happened to pull this up, but the Resident Evil reboot filming actually officially wrapped today. There's a lot of articles on here from IGN, as well as Bloody Disgusting, that either today or sometime yesterday that the film wrapped production and everything else. So that's actually pretty cool. Great timing for this video. But that being said, Resident Evil, the new series, this new film series, is supposed to be very true to the origins of the games, and it's supposed to be more of an actual remake and live action of the games. It's supposedly supposed to take place around the time of the 1 to 3 game time frame, and it's supposed to include some elements of all 3 games from what I've heard. So, super stoked about that, obviously. Anything Resident Evil, you slap it in front of me, I'm probably going to like it. But that being said, let's lead us up into number 1. If you couldn't have guessed, that number 1 for me is going to be Spiral. Spiral is going to be a continuation of the Saw franchise. Obviously, we've been told that it's not going to be a direct sequel of any of the prior films. Specifically, this is just going to be a page out of the Book of Saul, if you will. That being said, this is anticipated for May 21st, 2021, starring Chris Rock. Chris Rock actually expressed interest in this years ago. And this story is going to be by James Wan and Leigh Whannell, both of whom are no mysterious. They're not mysterious to the franchise. No strangers. They've been here. They've been doing the work. And it's being directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. So really excited for this one. Obviously, with the last film, Jigsaw, the Jigsaw was great. It was, honestly, I feel like the film could have been better for sure. I feel like the film really took a lot of liberties, shoehorning people into the movie franchise and everything else. So I definitely feel like it could have been a lot better. That being said, I'm very much excited for Spiral. Spiral is one of probably my most anticipated horror films of 2021. That's why I left it for last. I love Saw, and I love anything to do with Saw, the Saw video games, Saw comic books, Saw books, any of that. So I'm so excited that we're finally going to get another Saw film. And, you know, as I mentioned, I actually made a film about Saw, a video about Saw a couple weeks ago, where I actually specifically talked about how I've never seen a Saw film in theaters until Jigsaw. And so I really hope that by May of next year, I'm okay and more comfortable with going out and seeing Spiral, because I'm so ecstatic for the film. So that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here, and we're going to head into final thoughts. Final thoughts, oh my lord. So guys, what can I say? So many great films, and I do want to mention some potential runners up for my top 5 most anticipated films of next year. There are some great films. I'm not going to go too much in detail, but these are just a couple things if you guys are interested. We have The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. We have The Army of the Dead, which is a zombie film written by Scott Snyder. Morbius, which is the Morbius Living Vampire Marvel movie. A Wrong Turn remake. A Forever Purge movie. As well as a Nick Cage Willy's Wonderland movie. Oh man, that should be fun. So there's obviously a lot of other stuff that's anticipated to come out. I think that there's a Don't Breathe 2, as well as a couple of other things that might be cool. But, you know, that being said, you know, I'm super excited for the 5 films that I mentioned. These films are probably the ones that are going to really get me going the most. Definitely Spiral. I'm super excited for another Saw movie to be in theaters, but I would be remiss if I even told you that I'm also really excited for the Candyman film. The Candyman films, you know, they were a product of the 90s, and, you know, not to say that they were at all bad movies. That's definitely not the case. But these are definitely products of a time before me, and I'm definitely excited to see, you know, newer recreations of these films in a modern light. I'm always excited for that, you know, and I'm not even ashamed to say that I love the Purge movies and the Conjuring movies. So the 2 that I mentioned, which were the Forever Purge and the Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, both of those films are really highly anticipated for me as well because I love those films. That being said, there's so much great stuff, and I'm just super excited for 2021. Like I said in the last video, I'm cautiously optimistic for the new year. But that being said, I should say, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy this episode of Horror Stew, go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Leave us a comment down below about what you liked or what you didn't like. And that being said, if you are interested in joining the Geek-Stew team, feel free to hit us up on Instagram, or I'm sorry, not Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, or leave us a comment down below. And feel free to let us know if you want to join. I'm going to keep saying it. We want to look for more people. We want to expand. But I hope you guys enjoyed again. Like and subscribe. Follow us on all social medias. Those are at the end of the video and in the description down below. And lastly, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and we will see you in the next one. See ya.